Freedom of speech means a lot to me. Freedom of speech means that I have the freedoms that a lot of people in my family never had growing up in the Soviet Union. My name is Ilan Sinelnikov, and this is my story. I was born in 1992 in Rehovot, Israel, as the first generation Israeli to my parents who immigrated to Israel from the former Soviet Union, from Ukraine. Ukraine was one of those 15 republics that established the USSR, and it actually was a home to a huge Jewish population, and my family settled in Kyiv. It was very hard for the Jews to be there. They were persecuted. There was no freedom of religion. There was no freedom of speech. My family tried to leave Ukraine for nearly 10 years, but they were denied exit. My mother got kicked out of high school after the family tried to leave. My grandfather lost his job as well. They were all fighting for justice because the life in the Soviet Union was not just. My grandfather told me that the university there had a quota of 1 Jew for 5 years. Not 1 Jew a year even, or a semester, but 1 Jew in 5 years can be in the school in order for the school to say, here we go, we met our quota, the Jews can study here as well. I'm a proud Israeli American. I was born already in a free country, the first generation in my family to do so. And when we came to the United States, the idea of the United States was the place that everyone can be everything they want. And if they want to get somewhere, they should be able to get there by hard work. And I remember when I got accepted to college, this was the best feeling that you possibly have. I got accepted to the university of my choice. I'm gonna come here, I'm gonna study the next 4 years, gonna be phenomenal. So one day I walk around campus and something really catches my eye, which is flyers all over campus saying, join us during the Israel Apartheid Week. I didn't have idea what it even means. I'm from Israel, all I was thinking it might be an event about my country. So myself and 2 other students, we decided to go to check it out. And as we arrive in the room was not necessarily friendly. A lot of people who don't like Israel, who don't like America, and on the side of the room there was a poster, and it said that Uncle Sam keeps giving money to Israel to commit a genocide. Aren't you frustrated that your tax-paid dollar goes to kill Palestinian children? And that was the moment that we decided that we have to do something. We gotta speak up. We registered students supporting Israel. And this club will provide the contra to the clubs that's spreading so much misinformation, anti-Semitism, and anti-American propaganda. In 2014, I was a senior at the University of Minnesota. I decided I signed a job opening for the Student Service Fees Committee. I was thinking it's going to be a great opportunity for me, with my degree and my experience in leading a club, to apply for such a job. And I did. The interview went great, and after 2 weeks, I got an invite to take on the job. I got an email one day saying that there's a problem in the graduate student body. And the problem was that there were students at the graduate student body who were supporters of the boycott the investment movement, what we know nowadays, BDS. They launched a full hands-on campaign against me that lasted weeks. My name was smeared. I was compared that I started a group similar to the KKK on our campus as the founder of Students Supporting Israel. They were saying that I am promoting violence on our campus. I started being treated in a way that none of the other 30 candidates on the slate was treated. I'm the only person that is being attacked and asked questions. Questions like, aren't you afraid that you will be biased as an Israeli and as the founder of Students Supporting Israel in giving out the money? Didn't you ask anyone here if they're afraid of being biased for whatever their backgrounds are? Or you're just gonna ask the person who's from Israel if he's biased? And the entire student government graduate body voted me down. Out of 30 candidates, only 1 being voted down and not getting the job. And this is Ilan Sinelnikov, because I'm an Israeli American, because I'm a proud Jew, I'm a proud Zionist, and I decided to fight back. Students on campuses nowadays are afraid to speak for Israel, to speak for other causes, to speak saying that they love this country. That's when we try to come to the students and tell them, you're not alone. A lot of times it feels like you're alone against the entire world. There are thousands, if not millions, students who feel the same way. So if we don't fight back, If we just let things go, one day we'll wake up to a very sad reality. In 1941, when the Nazis entered the Soviet Union and occupied the city of Kiev, 34,000 Jews in the city of Kiev were massacred in a matter of 2 days. And that goes to 14 members of my family. So that's how my great-grandfather lost both of his parents and was raised by both of his older sisters. And I always wondered how come 2 regiments can kill 34,000 people in 2 days? How it's even possible, realistically? And it was not just the SS soldiers there. It was also collaborators that in a matter of 1 day turned from neighbors to the Jews, from people that said hello in the hallway to the Jewish people, that sent their kids to school with them. They turned into collaborators who were sending the Jews to their deaths. It happened in a matter of 24 hours. Most of them were educated people with degrees, with diplomas, and that's what we see on our universities nowadays, that some of the most educated people are also some of the most hostile people to the Jews as a collective nowadays, because they don't want to be blamed anti-Semitic, so they hate on the Jewish state. My grandfather was an activist his whole life. I believe that I got my activism spirit from him, and I hope that when he looks at his grandchild, he is proud knowing that his grandchild fights for the truth, fights for justice, just like he did in one of the hardest places to fight at. I'm comfortable hearing things that I don't like. On college campuses, students are being silenced. I was silenced because of my support to Israel. But I know that the truth is on my side. I live there. I have seen the daily life there on the ground. And if they want to say it, they can say it. But I will be there on the other side, making sure that people hear the truth and they can decide where they land. Freedom of speech means a lot to me. Freedom of speech means that I have the freedoms that a lot of people in my family never had growing up in the Soviet Union. It means that I was the first person in my family that had those freedoms, in which I can say and I can think and I can share whatever I want. And this is a value that we cannot give away by any means. Because the worst thing that can possibly happen to us is if one day we wake up and we realize we don't have that freedom to say what we want to say anymore. In a country that was built on such a core value, we must speak up in order to protect that freedom. Thank you for watching this video. In order to make PragerU videos free, please consider making a tax-deductible donation.